Have you been thinking about starting your own podcast, but just not sure where to start? Well, look no further, because Anchor has you covered. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast and gives you everything you need in one place with ease of access from your phone or your computer. With awesome creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast so it sounds amazing. But the best part? Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. That means stations like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more, all while easily making money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So what are you waiting for? Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. What's up, everyone? Project Itachi here, reminding you to check out our Patreon page, which is full of bonus content, exclusive merch, promo codes, and access to our premium podcast, GZ After Dark. Sign up for any tier and be part of the action. Check it out at patreon.com/the GZ Chop Shop. Also, be sure to leave us a review wherever you listen to our podcast. And now, to the show. Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the GZ Chop Shop, first episode of season 4. It's been about a 2-month break. Baby. Version 2. Yeah, we took about a 2-month break, but now we are back better than ever, and pretty much ready to do everything that you guys love us for. So without further ado, because these guys were already like ready to go, they already got the stuff to talk about, we're just gonna dive right
started
in.
William Shatnering us.
I had to. You guys like would have had like the whole podcast before I even hit record. So I was like, hold up, sorry for the show.
I'll lead into this just to make everybody feel a little more warm and comfy, since I was the one that started this little rabbit hole to begin with. Hello, this is Vern. CD Projekt Red, probably in the last 24 hours, admitted, hey, investors, how are you going to sue us for something that you guys knew for a fact wasn't ready, that we told you wasn't ready months in advance, and said, hey, we need at least another good year or so to release this product for it to be appropriate for all platforms. But no, you wanted monies. And now look at you, sad and lonely with 50% off.
I'm so glad they came back and with like a big FU after everything, because all the tantrums, like you said, the investors, and at the end of the day, they finally came out and they're like, you guys were actually all wrong. So
to me, what makes this so problematic is the fact that not only the investors fucking them over, half of the fan base.
You know, I don't even think it's the fan base, because the fan base actually defends CDPR and the game. It's the people that hate like the amount of love that CyberPunk gets are like, well, I'm just gonna trash on your game until you admit it's a crap game. And it's like, it's not a crap game. You can't say that right now because technically they got fucked over and released an unfinished product early.
Because
like, imagine
of everyone else outside.
Because of everyone else outside.
Well, and investors. Everyone pushes what they get.
Here's partially why I blame investors. I'm not investors, god damn it. Fan base. So you have two types of fans, right? You have loyal fans that will respect no matter what the fuck you do and what the fuck you put out. And you have the niche fan base that is only there for popularity, right? It is that, Itachi, don't kill me for this. It is the age-old Snyder effect. Is Snyder a theatrical genius? Or is Snyder a visionary and can't write a story? Which one is it? There's no in between, right? And that's what this game is falling into right now. The game is falling into the little trap. Oh, I know. And that's why I said, hey, I was like, hey, don't get mad at me, because you know exactly what I just said makes perfect goddamn sense. Is it
I
your masterpiece? No, I know.
Like the Snyder films.
Meanwhile, in Itachi's corner.
But you know what I'm trying to get at, though.
Right there with his Superman shirt and his fucking...
Is it the age-old, hey, this was perfect no matter what, we're good with it, we understand that everybody fucks you over, and there's those fans. They're loyal, they understand, they're not cop and please, nothing like that. We get the mess that happened, but we don't blame you. Then there was a fan base that was like, nah, this is gonna be the greatest game ever, back like 2 years ago, and y'all said it was gonna be announced in April, and y'all fucked up. Y'all didn't put it out in April. Then y'all said it was gonna come out in like what, July? Didn't come out in July. Then you said September. Didn't come out in September. Now y'all said December. It better come out in December, or we're gonna sue. Yeah, and that was the fan base that was the loudest. That was the fan base that was the loudest.
And we all know that the loudest usually wins because nobody likes an uproar. Nobody likes attention drawn to them unnecessarily, especially when there's financial backing.
I'm kidding.
You know what still like baffles me is how is it like so many games historically have been pushed back? Like it happens all the time.
You know what? Here, I got the best example for you. The Last of Us.
Okay. So
The Last of Us was pushed back because it wasn't finished.
Yes.
And look at the time it took and what game they released. It was a fucking masterpiece of a game.
A slight difference. And the only reason why I say slight difference is because of companies and expectations. The Last of Us was Naughty Dog's, right? Yeah. Everybody was still riding high on the Uncharted series. They're like, all right, cool, push it back, take as long as you want. Part of the problem with CD Projekt Red, right, I don't blame them, and I understand why they did it this way. It was to appease the investors. However, it would have made way more sense if they would have been like, hey, we're pushing this game back at least 6 months. What they kept doing was giving unrealistic expectations to the investors, right? I don't blame them. They were trying to keep their money. They kept pushing it back maybe 3 months each time. Oh, we were supposed to come out in April. Ah, shit, we can't come out till like June or July now. And give us a bit. Then, oh shit, we can't come out till September. Then, oh shit, hey, we're gonna try to push for a December release, right? If they would have probably just gave that realistic expectation of, hey, we're not gonna be able to release this game for another year, it probably wouldn't have been as bad as a backlash. However, it is what it is. Big part of it was because of investors and fuckboy fans. I'm just gonna say it.
I agree because
The Last of Us, it was my fault.
I was just gonna say because even with The Last of Us, they were let off the hook with the first one because at the time it came out, I mean, it was still the PS3 era, so fans were a bit more forgiving. But because of how things have gone within pretty much the last 8 years or so, even with The Last of Us Part 2, the fan base is literally divided just because a lot of people didn't like how the story went. So with the fan base, you're gonna have those people. Yeah, you're gonna have those people. They're gonna find a reason to dog the game, no matter what. Like they just live and breathe on trying to make it seem like developers don't know what they're doing, and it's like I'm of the personality and the thought process. I'm like, okay, if you can dog all these games, then go make your fucking own game. Like get on your computer and make your own goddamn game. And then you have nothing to complain about. Show us what a perfect game is, and watch how people still tear it apart.
My other issue with them is the company their company made what game before that? What was the last game they made that is super famous? Well, they had involvement.
Which one, Naughty Dog or CD Projekt?
CD Projekt.
The last game that they made or were involved in? I don't know the last game they were involved in. Last game I don't know the game that they were involved in. The only game I remember them making was literally Witcher.
Witcher 3 franchise. And how buggy was Witcher 3?
Oh, very.
How buggy was Witcher 3 when it first came out? Not the perfection it is now, but when it was
super buggy when it first came out.
Right.
It was super buggy.
My point of what I'm trying to get at with that is this is a company, no disrespect to them. Hey, when they first release a product, there's going to be bugs. This is modern gaming. When you first release a product, there's usually some sort of bug that wasn't released or tested out or anything like that, right? And I know people complain about nowadays you have to download shit just to play a disc for a game that you physically have a copy of, but at the same time, compared to the good old golden days of the 90s of video gaming, you didn't have a cartridge with every last bit of data on it. and have to worry about hacks and all this other shit.
Yeah, that's very and mods and stuff. And I think, and I want to say it could probably open up potential for like jobs and stuff. And I know developers probably would feel some kind of way, and the big business industry probably wouldn't want to let people in on it. But look at all these amazing mods that come out for games, mainly on PC when they're released and everything, that literally help improve the game. Or when there's a bug, someone literally goes in, finds the code, and finds there was literally one letter of text out of place. They fix it, and then the game just miraculously gets so much better. I feel like if they just
and then they
opened
get
up,
shit suit out of them.
Yeah, I just feel like if the big companies behind the developers stop being pretty much assholes and open it up to like, hey, because let's be honest, we've talked about this a million times. We get unfinished games. That is the new norm. We've let that become the new norm. We've accepted that as the new norm.
You want the rest of the game? Here's a $30 DLC.
Exactly.
All like Destiny.
Exactly. Jeez. Capcom, fucking Bungie with Destiny.
It's only unfinished if you didn't buy the DLC 3 months later.
Don't let Capcom be the one to make a fighting game for you.
Or you find out that they split a game into 2 parts and called it 2 separate games, which is Destiny. It literally was revealed. Yeah. Destiny 2 was not supposed to be a whole separate game. Destiny and Destiny 2 was one whole game.
I don't even want to talk about Destiny right now. I'm getting
and they're not the only one.
$1,000 you spent and now you're hurt.
It could have been such an amazing game
if they had left it alone. Yeah, but they looked at it like, hey, two very notoriously greedy. I mean, no one's got EA beat, but those are very close seconds with it.
I don't know.
You think Destiny would have been better if it was like run like World of Warcraft?
I've never seen so much in-game like loot purchases available. Like you can buy so much in that game, it's insane.
I think what happened is I blame, and I will always forever blame it. And even though I like some mobile games, I do blame mobile games for the state that regular games are going, because the mobile gaming industry literally took the world by storm, because now they can go to these main developers, because before it was just all unheard of developers making mobile games, but they were making so much money because they reached a market of people that didn't have video game consoles and everyone had a cell phone. So they were making mad money in less time than some of the bigger developers. So then when the bigger developers saw how much money could be made, and they were like, well, okay, if these people are willing to pay $1 to get an extra hour to play the game, and they're literally every action in your game, maybe we can maybe we can do the same thing.
An extra $2 for no ads. That's where it started.
And now games like Destiny took it and ran with it.
Yeah, the best thing you can do for no ads on mobile is just disconnect the internet.
Yes. Very true. I put my shit on play mode.
But a lot of games got smart to that, and if you're not connected to the internet, you cannot play.
Then don't play those games and find a better one.
So
not everything is get good. Not everything.
Look, if we're talking about mobile games, let's be serious. There's always a better mobile game.
You know what mobile game I used to play all the time? Doodle Jump. I hate standing in line, so Doodle Jump. Like that's all games on the phone is to me. Like you're standing in line, you have nothing to do, you're waiting,
and you're just using distraction,
Doodle Jump. Like I don't know.
Yeah. So back to Itachi's point of these AAA companies going a mobile route. Square Enix, that is the example I would like to use on this. Square Enix, probably back in 2010, released this phenomenal RPG, only for mobile, called Chaos Rings. And you ever want to get a fuck you from a gaming company? There it is. Hey, we're gonna release this phenomenal ass game, only put it on iPhones, and you have to pay $20 just to play the game.
I vaguely remember this game.
They came out with four, my fault, 4 of them. Because there was Chaos Rings Alpha, Chaos Rings 2, and Chaos Rings 3, right? Beautiful RPG. You can only play on a fucking iPhone. And each one was $20 a pop. Like, hey, we're going to really hit this mobile market by storm. You can play almost every Final Fantasy game on your fucking phone right now. Legally on your phone, not using a fucking mod or anything like that, or emulator and then doing all this other shit. But you have to play Square Enix $17.99 or above. Hell, there's a game called The World Ends With You that came out on the DS years ago. Beautiful fucking game. Itachi just had flashback memories of the joy he played with it.
that damn final boss fight.
Square Enix, is that the company that was or is
Squaresoft?
Originally Squaresoft, yeah.
Is that the one that was with Tomb Raider? Is that the same one?
Yeah. I mean,
when they revamped it, when they
Tomb Raider went to them.
That was
Tomb Raider got bought out and went to them.
not the reboot, but the old one, or the reboot.
Reboot.
That's disheartening because it's such a good game.
Yeah. So hell, there's even a Tomb Raider game made by Squaresoft. Well, Square Enix. God damn it!
Don't tell me it's on mobile. Don't tell me it's on mobile.
No, it is on mobile.
No Tomb Raider game can be appreciated on a fucking phone.
It's like a Temple Run game. Don't worry.
Nah, don't drag the name to the dirt. It's a good series.
Oh my god, it is here. Lara Croft Relic Run.
Oh yeah,
That just sounds
after
like
after Temple Run.
Yeah, I was
Temple
gonna say,
Run was famous.
It sounds like the old school Temple Run.
All right,
Yeah,
I'm down.
that's what I'm saying.
All
They
you're
were
doing is jumping
piggybacking.
over pits and shit. Like you're not actually playing Tomb
Pretty
Raider.
much what you're doing. You're jumping pits. You're dodging axes. You get to fight bosses. How the fuck do you do that?
Triple A companies took mobile and ran with it and fleeced the masses. I love Final Fantasy. Don't get it fucked up. I love Final Fantasy. But you got me fucked up if you think I'm not going to bootleg a Final Fantasy game that was from SNES to my laptop before I pay you to play it on a mobile phone. Fuck out of here.
I think the only game, like Final Fantasy game, I would rebuy is like a remaster, like they did with Final Fantasy VII. Because the remaster of Final Fantasy VII is fucking gorgeous.
Remaster or remake?
Yeah, very much so.
Dude, I've tried playing some AAA games on the phone, and I can't do it, man. The screen is so small. You gotta. I'm like, I get mad. I'm like, fuck this. Give me a controller or a keyboard.
You know what though? I'm not gonna lie. I do enjoy the fact that like if I'm taking a shit and my PlayStation is on, I can jump on and play like whatever was on my PlayStation while I take a shit. The game's fucking hard to play, but god damn it, is it fun to do it?
I mean, you could do the age-old trick my homeboy does. He sets up a laptop, points it towards the TV, then calls his laptop using a different screen name so that he can FaceTime his shit and then just play it on his controller. He uses the fucking
A true gamer does not
like that.
does not let a bathroom break get in the way of his.
Oh fuck no!
Oh no, zombies!
You know, like 30 minutes of gaming you have to like put aside. It's like nah, I could do it. I can do it. I'm gonna the 30 minutes of gaming. I'm not gonna just like take a pause from shitting. I need to beat this level right now, but I really gotta shit.
Mm-hmm. Damn, I look like a fucking shadow right now. Holy fuck!
Did you guys see PUBG is coming out with like 3 or 4 games that are supposed to be within the universe?
Yeah,
and one of them doesn't make sense to me. I think I've showed a couple of you guys the clip or preview because I'm really excited about it. It's called the
Dead Space kind of ripoff.
Yeah, the Callisto Protocol, and it says it's in the same narrative universe, but several centuries in the future, and has absolutely nothing to do with the actual game. It's just in the same universe, and I'm like, how's it in the same universe? Like, I don't understand, like how that. I mean, maybe
I do not understand. We have universes in all comics and everything. Like, even fucking Gravity Falls is like technically connected to Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I have too. That sounds weird, but all right.
Like that,
you know,
we're
fine with
connected
these
everything to
shared
anything.
universes. Yeah, I mean, look at how we just do this podcast. We literally connect things that shouldn't be connected at all, and we make it all make
like
sense.
Furries and money.
Yep.
That episode
Furries
still
and money
haunts me.
go hand in hand. Furries and money go hand in hand.
we've connected some things that just shouldn't have been connected. But no, everything. Let's like, you know, let's. Everything with gaming now is sadly connected to money. You're not gonna make everyone happy. There are literally people out there in a position of influence, streamers, reviewers. I mean, look at all the times that developers paid off a review company to give their game a better rating when they knew their game was shit.
And this is why I appreciate too.
Yeah. So,
by the way, if there's any company that wants me to give them like 10 out of 10 IGN score on my channel, just send me the game for free and a couple bucks and I'll do it.
Fuck IGN, them bastards.
I don't trust IGN ratings no more. Who trusts IGN ratings anymore?
Yeah.
The same people that care about Rotten Tomatoes.
Bro, tell me what. Oh, I fucking hate Rotten Tomatoes. It pisses me the fuck off.
Don't even get me started.
They're all.
No, you know what? I'm gonna go down that fucking lane of Rotten Tomatoes. Who the fuck? How the fuck does Rotten Tomatoes have their own reviewers that give a movie a fucking 80% like perfect, certified fresh? But then they have the user reviews that are like, oh yeah, this movie was total dog shit trash.
No, Rotten Tomatoes doesn't have its own reviewers. Rotten Tomatoes is basically an algorithm that takes actual reviews, like professional reviewers. They compile all their reviews into their system and they come up with that score, right? Then they take user reviews, compile them all together, and make a score. Rotten Tomatoes has shit to do with most reviews, 90% of the time. Usually it's, hey, either a bunch of critics reviewed it like shitty and lowered the score, or a bunch of users reviewed it and made it shitty and made the user score shitty. It's not usually Rotten Tomatoes. And that's why it's always funny when people bring up WB, no offense. They're like, oh, Rotten Tomatoes has a slander against WB. But Rotten Tomatoes is owned by Warner Brothers. You simp ass. I can't say that word on this.
Oh, you know what? Hold. Fuck that. I'll say the word. If you defend the new Wonder Woman movie, what fucking movie were you watching? Were you watching the same movie as I was?
So I'm not gonna lie. I gotta say the new Wonder Woman was a little bit underwhelming.
A little bit?
I haven't seen it.
A little bit?
Depends on how deep you want to go in the comics.
That's what I was saying. I was like, it depends on what kind of eye you approach it with. If you approach it with a critical comic book eye, you're probably going to be like,
you know I did.
Yeah. If you approach it with 100% entertainment
I approached it with entertainment, and you know a movie's kind of bad when you're an hour and a half in and you're just wondering when the movie's actually going to start.
Yeah. So I approached it with the middling. I'm part of that gray area where I intentionally come in with like a little bit of comic, a little bit of entertainment. I slap it together, and if one starts to overcome the other, I'm just like, nah, fuck that. Just watch, listen to the dialogue.
You push it down like a female skating reflex.
Itachi's one of the reviewers.
Shove that.
This is how I do it. I watch the movie first for entertainment value, and then the second viewing is all about the comic value. I always go entertainment first because I want to know, am I willing to watch this movie a second time to dissect it?
You weren't
like,
worried.
I did watch which Thor was it? Ragnarok. Yeah, I watched that one like 3 times in a row, man.
Ragnarok was the best one, but we ain't gotta go there.
I'm just saying, like, I agree. Like, if a movie's really good, you'll want to rewatch it. And like, what did you miss?
So the issue with Wonder Woman, right? If you're taking my approach in the critical comic book fucking mindset, is things they did, the bastardization of certain characters, right? The main thing I loved about Wonder Woman 84 was Linda Carter. Like, dope, she made a cameo. Yay! You know, Linda. For those that don't know, Linda Carter was the original Wonder Woman in live action.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My Puerto Rican princess.
I'm trying to remember, where did she come out? Like in the movie? I don't remember seeing her.
credits.
She was at the end credits. You probably didn't stay for that.
Yeah, as soon as he saw the movie was over, he's like, okay, thank God it's over.
Yeah. No,
I'm done.
She was the end credits. Remember the warrior they were talking about? I don't give a fuck if this is a spoiler. I had enough time. The movie's been fucking free.
I'm not going to watch it, so I don't care.
Remember the warrior they were talking about with the golden armor? I can't think of her fucking name right now. That they kept talking about the whole movie. That was Linda Carter's armor.
Oh.
And they were like, oh, she died a long time ago. No, she's alive. She's living in like Italy or some shit like that, just living her best life. But like my issue with 84 stems from my issue with Wonder Woman. You killed off the love of her fucking life, somebody that was essential to her storyline in the first movie. Just for drama. And then you bring him back in the most asinine way you could possibly think of. Hey, he's alive, but he's not alive because he's in some random dude's body. But we don't know he's in a random dude's body except for like one scene where you see his face, his real face, and everything else is Chris Pine's beautiful blue eyes. Pause.
Do you think like if they just like axed the whole bringing back the lover thing, the movie would have been better? Like have at least
because
like that's a whole hour of the movie that shouldn't have been there. Like I love Chris Pine, but
introduced Maxwell Lord.
Aliens 3 sounds like it's better.
Well, hold up. I have to say though, look,
Alien 3 sounds. Alien 4 sounds better.
I think the only
Alien Resurrection sounds better.
I'm gonna tell you this though. Pedro Pascal, Maxwell Lord, like he's the only reason I actually stuck around the movie for as long as I did.
I mean, all the memes are based off of him too.
Yeah.
It could be good. It's good, but it could be better. And that meme is like everywhere. And I'm like, that's how you know he made the movie. There's no other
movie. Yeah.
Hey, to me, and this is my problem with watching comic book movies because I criticize every fucking thing. Maxwell Lord was a dope ass character in the comics. Maxwell Lord was a very compelling character in the comics. Maxwell Lord wasn't this person begging for handouts and then found a magic rock in the comics.
DC just can't get anything right. They're trying so hard, but they're barely scraping by with.
You know,
I don't necessarily blame.
How many Batmans are we gonna have this decade? How many fucking Batmans are we gonna have?
Oh, well, how they fuck up?
You shut your mouth. I'm excited for Robert Pattinson.
Don't worry. Like I'm excited about Batman. I love Batman. But how many Batmans are we gonna have without Robin?
And I guess it's basically like how many times are we gonna reset Batman?
Okay, hold on. Dude. Can we just have a Batman for more than fucking 2 years or something?
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. We've had a Batman and Robin
without an origin,
and we know how that movie went.
It's okay. That was Tim Burton, and he's different. He's a little.
That wasn't Tim Burton.
He's different.
There was like two or three. The first two or three in the 90s.
No, the first
one other director did like.
Joel Schumacher did the last
first
two
Batmans were Tim Burton. Joel Schumacher was Batman and Robin.
Schumacher. And the
Tim
Batman
Burton did the OGs.
The OG, the Michael
Tim Burton
Keaton,
did the
right?
OG Batmans.
Oh,
yeah.
Whatever.
The ones everyone
Joel
loves.
Schumacher. He's super gay, right? No disrespect to that man. That man has produced phenomenal action films. However, Joel Schumacher has
nipples.
a fun little habit of when it comes to his male main characters, he likes to over-sexualize them. Hence why in Batman Forever, you got random shots of their crotch, and hence why in Batman and Robin, you had enhanced crotches and bat nipples.
This is an insight I never thought I'd ever have.
I mean, even as a kid, I was like,
So
why?
Tachi should have been in that movie.
When they introduced Batwing into a Batman movie, yeah,
that ain't happening no time soon.
exactly. So
You know,
I'm really surprised they haven't like moved on with like what is it?
The original Justice League. Like, I'm surprised they like. I think the only, I guess Shazam, but
I went blank. Future Batman. I went blank. Batman Beyond. Yeah, Batman Beyond.
Terry McGinnis.
Yeah. I'm just surprised they haven't pitched the
There's been
idea.
rumors. There's been pitches. There's been rumors for years, right? They want Michael Keaton to play fucking old man Bruce Wayne. They just
Would be
the
perfect.
issue with Batman Beyond is if you go past with the cartoon head, a lot of people are gonna get confused and question a lot of shit. Prime example, did you know Terry McGinnis is Bruce Wayne's son?
Clone.
No.
I did.
I thought clone.
Thank you, Amanda Waller.
No, I remember. It wasn't Waller? Wasn't
It was
it
Amanda Waller's
Batgirl?
I never read any like Batman Beyond comics or anything. Like, I don't know that much.
They're actually
I
really
just
It was on the show
watched
too. It was in the show too. I remember watching it.
It's like one of the last episodes. Basically, well, they elaborate on that a little bit more in the comic. Amanda Waller spliced Bruce Wayne's DNA into Terry McGinnis's mom and dad, so that way, when Bruce got too old to be Batman, they had someone able to genetically beat Bruce Wayne's equal, right? Terry and his little brother are technically Bruce Wayne's kids.
I remember now. Yeah, they were supposed to get Batgirl to kill his dad, right? And his mom?
Some shit like that.
Damn, that
Yeah.
got dark.
Yeah, no, that was the plan.
Batman Beyond is super fucking dark. It's just when it was a cartoon, they couldn't go as dark as they wanted to. And then when they made it a comic, you find out a whole slew of shit. Just Dick Grayson being an assassin. Damian Wayne being the head of the League of Assassins. What was it? Tim going crazy for a little bit. And then gaining his sanity back.
Wasn't Tim also like the pseudo Joker?
Yep.
Yeah.
Tim became Joker for a little bit.
So I'm gonna do our typical every episode connection. Fan base and investors suing CyberPunk leads to Dick Grayson going insane. It's all written in the cards.
Yeah, how the fuck did we get here? Now that I think about it.
Slippery slope.
It's always a slippery slope. Yeah, it's always that's how it goes with the show. We connect dots that nobody else.
It sounds like a Joker to me.
connected.
I'm not saying like a ripoff Joker. I'm just saying, and I finally watched all of My Hero Academia, and Tamuro Shigaraki just reminds me of like a fucked up anime Joker.
Well, have you heard his backstory?
That's basically
No.
what he is.
I'm not saying a ripoff. I'm just saying like that's just what he reminded me of.
No, that's basically what he is.
Yeah.
His backstory sets it up for that.
Yeah.
I was
He
like, this
basically is
guy's
the
fucked
anime
up,
Joker.
man. He's like insane and shit. He's like, yes.
Also-
I'm like, what the fuck is up?
Do you know what those hands are on his face?
I'll kill them all. I'm like, all right, maybe we'll kill them all.
Yo,
Shit.
Warners, do you know what those hands on his face are?
His father's hand? I don't know why. No, that's not his father's hand. I thought it was. What is it? What is it?
The hands around his body are the hands of his dead family.
His family
Okay, I
that
was
he
close.
accidentally
Yeah.
killed.
I thought it was his. I thought I heard it was like his father's hand, but
Yeah.
might have been smoking.
No,
Like
so
you're doing right now? Like, I might have been smoking. Take the puff.
I might have been smoking. Takes a
That's
puff.
just nicotine. Not the other one.
Yeah, sure.
I know I
I
would,
went yesterday.
but I still don't like Endeavor. I'm sorry. I read the manga. I know his redemption arc. I get it, but
You know what?
I never
I'm
read
with
the
you on
book.
that, Warner. I'm with you. I'm with you on that, Bert. I really don't. I don't care for Endeavor either.
like
I like his kids better.
That he did, all the redemption that he did, try to make him a better person, all this other shit. I mean, he's still fucking.
He's like one fuck up
a
or mistake
villain.
away from being a villain.
It wants an abusive dad. Always an abusive dad.
I mean,
The
yeah.
Endeavor story is a lot darker than they put on.
I don't, without trying to spoil things for
So,
Warners.
what is this kid's name? The evil one. Oh, never mind.
Well, just be happy we're not trying to spoil Attack on
Yeah.
Titan for Warners.
No, please don't, man.
Yeah.
I'm so into it
Warner's
right
doesn't-
now, and
Yeah, no,
I'm
not gonna
enjoying
do it.
each episode as it progresses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god, how did I not? Because it's in Japanese, and I'm like, I didn't even realize that was Aaron for like episode like 2,
For, like,
3, and
the
4.
first-
I didn't.
yeah.
You don't. I'm used to hearing their their English voices. And then once that Declaration of War episode came out, I was like, holy shit! So it kind of made it better for me because I didn't see it.
Ooh. You just made me think of something. So that episode when it came out, Declaration of War, right? Someone post hashtag Declaration of War, and I never knew how comical our country could be. So that happened.
Oh no.
Oh, Atachi's face just said it. So, for those that don't know, Attack on Titans posted Declaration of War, and someone fucking took the tweet and went,
Oh, man.
People thought it was about a civil war, and that, well, not civil war. People thought Japan was coming to nuke us.
What was that meme?
In the U.S. government. In the U.S. government.
That meme I showed you guys with Spider-Man, and it was showing... Stupid. It was showing the historical and how we're literally repeating history. And then the last
1914 Tokyo Olympics burnt down. 1920 some epidemic happened.
Yeah.
1921.
When you hashtag something, anything else that's been like related to it would pop up, right? And then everyone would take it that way because people are fucking dumb. They don't read it. They read too far into something without knowing what it really is.
So the meme was in 1938, France held the World Cup. 1939, Australia bushfire. 1940, cancellation of Tokyo Olympics. In 1941, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. 2018, France won the World Cup. 2019, Australia bushfire. 2020, cancellation of Tokyo Olympics, and now we're in 2021, and they put up that hashtag Declaration of War.
Hold up. You know what? Speaking of that, there's my favorite joke I like to hear is when people talk about Japan might start war. I'm like, look, Japan sunk 3 of our U.S. ships. We dropped the sun on them twice. Who do you think is gonna win?
Oh God!
So, you know,
let me.
Yuli.
So, I have a theory. I had this theory with somebody that Itachi and Warner's have both worked with. My theory is the first country to either have one of these two things is set for world domination. Giant robot.
Is it the Gundam?
Living weapons.
Yeah.
Yes. Or working railgun. Japan is at both.
I think, I was about to say, Japan sit here go, oh, that's so cool. The Gundam moves. I'm over here like, bitch, that gun. Them fucking, yeah. Hey.
We're minding our own business over here. We're not
Dragon Ball
causing any
Evolution.
No.
Do I need to say more?
What I mean is, I don't need our fucking cancel culture ruining anime.
Bruh.
Dude.
You tried.
Bro.
Like, leave us
Is
alone.
cancel culture an American only thing?
I think it is, because Japan, I don't think they would really care. They offended China with so many movies. You think they cared? They're like, all right, they still made their money. I think it was Demon Slayer that...
Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, not Dragon Ball GT, not Dragon Ball Super. They try to cancel Dragon Ball. The reason they try to cancel Dragon Ball is a good old hilarious scene of Goku finding out Bulma didn't have balls.
That shit was funny.
I remember that.
That shit was so fucking funny.
TV was good.
And that was back in like the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Goku had fucking jokes, man. When he was a kid, he had jokes.
When he was a kid, he still do.
Bulma was 100% a thought too.
They're not as innocent sounding though, like, because he is a man, but like when he was a boy, it was just funnier.
Goku looked at Bulma straight up after he accidentally instant transmission to her house. Bulma, nobody wants to see your saggy breasts.
Oh yeah. And Vegeta was like what? Like, my wife's
Dragon
getting
Ball
slapped around by gods, fucking shit on by this other Saiyan.
Vegeta doesn't realize, and I'm pretty sure Bulma has not told him the full history between her and Goku and her other endeavors. Yeah, look, nobody cares about Yamcha, so Vegeta probably is just like whatever. But when it comes to like Goku and literally their entire history of adventure together and every run-in, like
I don't think he'd care. He'd be like, "What does it gain? I gain nothing from information."
What does this idiot have to do with like jealousy? Like he looks at Goku, but like, who's this dumbass?
I feel bad for Krillin.
Remember, if it wasn't for Vegeta's
real winner is Krillin, though. We have to be
Goku,
honest.
Ideally, he would be stronger if he wasn't in his own way.
That he constantly leaks energy.
Yeah,
that's literally his thing that we called out, was the fact he's constantly leaking energy. Like the potential is there. Let's just call it that. They will always want Goku to be the hero. They always want Goku to be the hero. And you know what? This is a trend that anime has and American comics has, that once that first ace hero comes out, usually the author's favorite or like the people's favorite. I mean, look at prime example. We keep resetting Batman. Why? Because everyone is attached to Bruce Wayne.
They fucking lost their shit over Dick Grayson being Batman.
Everyone is attached to Bruce Wayne. No matter how many Robins come and go, die, we're cycling through everyone else, but somehow there will always be Bruce Wayne and Batman. Don't get me wrong, I'm for it. They're, I guess you could say synonymous.
You saw the Titans show.
Yeah,
it's not A game perfect by all means, but what did you think about it?
I personally liked it. And me personally, I think his name is Ian Glenn. Ian Glenn, I believe his name is the guy who played Bruce Wayne. Yeah. No, the guy who played Bruce Wayne. I think as an older Bruce Wayne / Batman, because I was like, okay, I've seen him hold a sword and do sword combat in Game of Thrones, and that was technically before Titans even came out. So let's see how this handles. I think they did that really well. I was like, okay.
At first I was like, huh? But then, like, as the story progressed, I was like, the type of Batman that
the type of Batman,
older, slowing down kind of Batman. But
the more seasoned.
When I heard Robin before he came Nightwing go, "Fuck Batman," after he beat some dude down, I was like, he's like, "Fuck Batman."
I see what Titans is going for. They want to be more. They want to have a little bit of creative freedom, and they want to be more mature. They want to have reality grounded while trying to keep true to certain comic aspects.
Because Dick did have a moment where he was just like, yo, screw you, Bruce. He just never came out that heavy with it.
Yeah.
And fuck Batman. He was usually like, damn it, Bruce, I don't want to be your shadow.
Yeah, and that was like a famous thing too. He would always say he didn't want to be his shadow. But yeah, getting back to like comic mains not changing hands, that's just basically like, I think creators are just afraid to change it because they don't want to deal with backlash. But you know what?
Look at Wolverine.
Spider-Man does a great job at it.
Spider-Man was controversial because people lost their shit. They found out there was a black Spider-Man. And then people were like, you can't change Peter Parker. And Marvel was like, it's in a different fucking universe.
And Spider-Man can get away with it because they've already established the Spider-Verse. So basically, if people don't want to read the other Spider universes, they don't have to.
What about with Iron Man that they're going to do with him? Like, they're making a new Iron Man. They're making that, what's her name? Fuck, I forgot.
Riri Williams. Yeah. That was met with backlash too. A lot of people were like, well, she ain't even Iron Man anymore. Fucking, it came back being Tony Stark, and how they pulled that ass pull of a storyline.
And that's like the third time he's come back. Yes, because I have one of the original comics from War Machine #1, the OG War Machine #1. I have it, where Tony Stark had already died.
Yep.
In the Marvel universe, anything is possible. Meanwhile, it's always somewhere else, or resurrecting the skull of an enemy here. Whatever.
Every person who replaced Tony Stark has been black, and every time that person has replaced Tony Stark, somebody has flipped shit. Yep. When James Rhodes became Iron Man, people lost their fucking mind. And a couple years later, what did they do? fucking brought back Tony Stark and some ass pullable way I think it deals with the Infinity Stones. Don't get
It's
me
something you
wrong.
don't think about, but even in the comic book world, like people can still throw a fit and get their way, which is
Yeah, they do it all the time.
insane to
They
me.
do it all
Like
the time.
comics are comics. There's so many universes, directions, and mantles to hand down. Like, enjoy the storyline, man. Who cares if
People don't
if it goes to an
separate
Asian
the
black
mantle.
guy, a woman? Like, who gives a shit? Like, enjoy the storyline.
Comic
because
book
people
fans.
can't separate the mantle from
not popular,
the
they'll read it.
character.
And
Yeah, they can't separate the mantle
unfortunately,
from the character.
Prime example of that shit is when Bucky became Captain America. There was some backlash, but people were like, all right, that was his best.
It made sense. It made sense to me.
When Sam became Captain America, oh God. Oh, look at all this political correctness. Da, 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 da. Black man can't be Captain America. It's America. And da, 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 da. But Cap gave Sam the shield. Nah, fuck that. Da, 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 da. Cap
I'm avoiding so many bullshit political garbage right now that in my head I'm like, I want to, throw it up, but I don't want to go there either because it does piss me off.
Another one, Miss Marvel.
I just do it to piss off people.
Boy, when Miss Marvel was first announced, I can't think of her actual fucking name right now. But the Muslim character that is why the fuck did I just forget him? What's Black Bolt, bro? Sachi.
Black.
Inhuman. There it is.
Oh,
That
When
movie-
Miss Marvel Inhuman one,
yeah.
right? When she was announced, people was like, she can't be Miss Marvel. She's Muslim.
that
Bitch,
movie's
what?
been pushed back a few times.
Wow.
Oh no, Inhumans is done. It became a
Yeah.
series, then it got canceled after the first episode because
Oh,
people
I didn't
lost
even know.
it.
I didn't even know it became a series. They should have just made a fucking movie.
In 2015, it
Is that really? I have no idea. I don't remember.
was a while ago.
Must not have been that popular or something.
No, it wasn't. It got trashed.
Damn.
No, a lot of people fucking lost their shit. If there's a person of color playing a legendary mantle, people lose their fucking minds. All over the fucking place.
Yeah, because they connect. Because it's like, when people are like, "Oh, who's your favorite comic book character?" Nobody's gonna say, "Oh, my favorite comic book character is Bruce Wayne, Clark Kent." They're gonna say Batman, Superman. It's like
Kyle fucking Rayner. That's my favorite.
so. It's like I like Batman. I like Batman. Period. That means I've liked Terry McGinnis's Batman. I've liked Bruce Wayne's Batman. There's a
Did you like Jason
something
Todd's
that each
Batman?
of them. Yeah.
We'll see what
Heck, I
happens
even
when,
like when it's Thomas Wayne with his darker version of Batman, toting guns. So I'm like, I like Batman. Whoever happens to be wearing that cowl brings their own element to it. But
That's
the
true.
concept of Batman being peak 100% peak physical conditioning, a detective, thinking outside the box,
The
and literally
assholes of
being
Bruce Wayne.
and
Mastery.
literally being a threat to anyone with superpowers just because of that level of intellect. I'm like, that's Batman. That's
And
Batman.
there's still some ass pulls, but we ain't gonna go there.
let's
I can survive a demon god.
Batman. How do you think Batman would do in Mortal Kombat?
He would. Okay, hold on. Depends on record.
Didn't we already technically kind of have that with the?
Don't you bring up that game. I know what you're going for. Shut the fuck up.
I'll leave it alone.
Okay.
I would
See a
say
Batman Mortal Kombat crossover.
it depends. It would depend on who he fought 100%. Because there's some people similar. Like, I would say like he might be okay against Sub-Zero, having dealt with someone like Mr. Freeze, and that's me kind of like, eh.
Well, here's the
I would
issue
say
with Mortal Kombat. There's ass pulls in Mortal Kombat.
He was
this is true.
trained by the greatest ninja clan in the world, so
And that depends on like that ninja clan, how that ninja clan stacks up in the world of Mortal Kombat and their ninja clans.
I mean, Nick Cage did pretty good for only being an actor martial artist. I would think Batman could do better.
But,
Yo, have
but
you
here's
guys
the thing
seen the
about
Nick Cage
Johnny
movie trailer?
Cage.
Burns face.
Johnny Cage was actually a really good martial artist. Yeah, he was actually a really good one. Exactly.
And also, if you follow the new Mortal Kombat lore, not the old Mortal Kombat lore, whole other sticky situation. Johnny Cage actually has a very ancient land like power.
Mm-hmm.
And he's actually one of the strongest people in Mortal Kombat lore.
Did you see his face when I said Nick Cage?
Yeah,
Yes.
I loved it.
I heard it too, but you know what? It reminded me.
I was
they're
waiting
making
for I saw his face, but I was waiting for him to like get mad.
No, I was confused. I was really confused. I was like, did I miss a word?
You know, it's funny because like any listeners who like don't know,
like, that's all I'm getting is.
Whoa, no, I don't really like
anyone who
Mortal Kombat
listens who doesn't even know about Mortal Kombat, they're just like, oh, Nick Cage, yeah, that sounds about right.
They hear the last name, like,
Oh, when you date that big gamer girl, it's like, oh yeah, I like video games. Oh yeah, you play Mortal Kombat. Yeah, who's your favorite character? Nicolas Cage. You're like, yeah, I like Nicolas Cage. He's a good fighter.
I like Nicolas Cage. Get out.
That's why I got confused.
I wish there was a way to track like how many people would watch this and go, oh yeah, Nick Cage. And then, like,
Nick Cage,
Bro,
yeah, Nick Cage.
My brain shut off for like half a second. I was like, Nick Cage? Wait, what? That's why I was confused.
That's
So,
like
explain,
when people intentionally piss off Star Wars people. Like, who's your favorite Star Wars character? Oh, Captain Kirk.
The funny thing is, I'm not a huge Mortal Kombat fan. Like, I love all fighting. No. I play Mortal Kombat just one.
He's fighting game. It's a fighting game.
Yeah, that's all it is for me.
I am probably more into Mortal Kombat. I'm probably more into Mortal Kombat than Burn is, and that's like a rarity.
I know the lore because the lore is kind of interesting. The new lore, not the old lore. The old lore is a fucking mess. But the new lore, yeah, I know about it just because I'm like, huh, this is kind of interesting. Whatever. But no. Hell, my favorite fighting game series, damn it, hurting my soul lately. God damn you, SNK. God damn you.
So, yeah, Batman in the Mortal Kombat universe.
Depends on the writers, because one minute Batman is going to be ass pulling out and fucking ripping motherfucking spines out their ear holes and shit.
If Batman could just be unleashed to his full potential, because he's not full potential unless he crosses those lines.
I think, you know,
and which he starts doing, like in he does start crossing.
I think that's what makes the character more compelling, because he won't cross those lines. Oh, he'll send you to the hospital.
He has cross lines.
Oh yeah. Depending on the comic book, yeah, of course.
But mostly because the Joker, like, honestly pushed him. Like,
I won't kill you, but I'll break your back and every bone in your body, but you'll still be alive.
That part. Like,
and I mean, that takes some precision, because you see the hits those people take, and I'm like, I'm 90% sure you're dead.
So Robert Pattinson fucking Batman trailer where he just like beats the shit out of that one dude to the pole. Oh my god.
Are they gonna do the whole like when the darker side when like he damn near was killing people?
Yes, because I'm year zero. This storyline takes place in year zero. For those that never read Year Zero, oh, you're in for a treat.
Year Zero is immediately after he was trained, right?
Yes.
Like when he's brand new Batman, and he's
literally he just became Batman, and so it's based off of Year Zero, but the movie is Year 2 Batman. But Year Zero is where fucking Riddler captures Gotham, locks everybody down, and makes it martial law in all of Gotham. And was like, hey, if you can kill me, he'll get Gotham back.
Who hasn't taken Gotham? Riddler's taken Gotham.
The Penguin.
Bane has taken Gotham.
Penguin has. Comic books, Bane hasn't, but
has taken Gotham.
Penguin has.
Joker has taken Gotham.
Poison Ivy's had.
Poison Ivy has taken Gotham.
Yep.
All right, stupid Bane.
Mr. Freeze is probably the only one who hasn't taken Gotham because his goal never really lied in taking the city over. Everyone else has taken over the damn city. It's like, why would you live in Gotham?
No, it's terrible. Insurance rates go all high. Fucking, you got to worry about it. If you smoke an ounce, you're gonna get your shit kicked in by this.
Do you think if you move into Gotham, you have to get like Gotham villain insurance? If you've been hurt or injured by a villain, we will protect you.
We will protect you. Funded by Bruce Wayne Enterprises.
I wonder if My Hero Academia has hero insurance.
They probably
they definitely do. They talked about it too.
Collateral damage like a motherfucker.
I have to rewatch it. I don't remember that.
I mean, you just bought your brand new house. You worked for like a good 20 years. You finally got that dream house.
Joker with a fucking rocket launcher.
You know, in My Hero Academia,
everything.
That's me in fucking 7 Days to Die. Warner's just built a new base. Here's Yulia with an RPG.
Just wait till I get in that Minecraft server and figure a few things out.
I will somehow get an RPG in Minecraft and be like, hey, Itachi, I like that base you built.
He gets a 7 Days to Die RPG in Minecraft.
That's one thing that scared me about building that damn server is like, I know what's gonna happen.
Me and Yoli will build a post, like a pedestal on opposite sides of the map and see if we can hit each other with rockets.
I mean, that sounds like a fun time.
We'll just shoot in the direction.
Yeah,
like
and join
Battleship.
our server if you want to die in Minecraft. Terrible.
Does Minecraft have rockets? No? They don't have rockets, do they?
No. But you can kind of make them with like pistons and slime blocks and fucking TNT. It's just a fucking mess to do it, but you could make slow moving rockets in Minecraft.
So before we wrap up the show, there's two things I want to.
Oh, for nostalgia purposes.
Oh.
No, 2 twos and 1 lie. What the fuck?
What?
No, for nostalgia purposes, for those that still praise Power Rangers from their childhood, you got a week to watch it on Netflix. All them shits is about to go.
My God,
have fun with it.
Ooh.
Smoke a blunt.
Yeah, I was about to say,
I watched Dino Thunder and SPD like 6 times since it got on Netflix.
They can take whatever they
You
want.
better watch it for a 7.
If they can keep making amazing movies, TV shows, and animes, like it's impressive how good they're doing with anime so far, for the most part. Like I don't think
because Netflix
they don't need everybody else.
Yeah, Netflix. I hate that they raised the price, but because of what they're making and the actors they pay for it and the original shit they're creating, I'm like, I get it because
it makes sense.
It makes sense. This is some good shit you guys are putting
trying
out.
to go see all these movies they come out with at the theaters because a lot of those movies.
Can we briefly talk about Paramount Plus?
What is Paramount Plus? Hold up. Explain to me what that shit is. I just heard that got announced. What is Paramount Plus?
So
yeah, I'm sorry, it's I don't know what you're talking of.
It's a rebranded streaming service for Paramount. So it's another streaming service, basically.
I know only one thing I would watch from Paramount Plus, and that's I think it's Yellowstone is Paramount.
Yellowstone?
It's a TV show. It's is it Paramount?
I'm just still waiting for cable companies to go bankrupt. They can't stand on their own feet with internet alone.
So basically, I guess nobody was.
Yeah, they can.
I don't think that's minimum half their income.
Oh yeah, they're Paramount. Yellowstone is Paramount.
But basically, it's just CBS All Access getting rebranded as Paramount Plus, and I think they're doing that because.
That wait, no, that's bullshit. Because CBS All Access is free. You can watch it on CBS All Access for free. Maybe not games released, but you can watch everything on CBS All Access for free.
Well, that's kind of like some of the other streaming services. Yeah, if it's been out for a little bit, you can watch it for free. But I know in Canada, it says here in Canada that CBS All Access streaming service will be rebranded to Paramount Plus on March 4th. I don't know why they're doing that. Maybe they're just doing it because they thought like, hey, Disney Plus.
I'm thinking of the Transformers movies. Those terrible movies.
Is that like you watch all the Transformer movies here, and they're like,
well, that's what I just read. They're putting like Transformers and shit on there. The only Transformers movie that I cannot call terrible is Bumblebee. And that's because Michael Bay had zero fucking involvement.
I'm not gonna lie, if I feel like just watching mindless action and lots of explosions, Michael Bay will be the first. Yeah, random hot chick that actually has.
Y'all want explosions and CGI? I got this.
And a hot chick, got you covered.
Yeah.
Who somehow, no matter what, stays clean.
You know what? I'm on the opposite. I'll go back to like the 80s and 90s when we had like Mel Gibson with Lethal Weapon. Fucking Commando was badass. You can't tell me the scene where he's with the fucking machine gun just mowing down people, not
just
having to reload once, mowing them down. Brings out the rocket launcher.
We're Mr. Doug McClure.
I love when people think of 80s action movies because they think of the glory days of 80s action movies and they don't think of.
If I had a guess, I'd say we're in some sort of Jurassic area.
Oh my god! Hey,
we have to think about Dolph Lundgren's Punisher.
Dolph Lundgren's
Masters of the Universe.
I forgot about that.
Masters of the Universe.
Fist of the North Star. For every good fucking action 80s movie there was about 5 bad ones.
And you know what? We thank those bad ones for paving the way for these good ones to get all the limelight.
Man. And those original Gundams, man. Oof.
You know what's funny? The way that we just talked about that.
I love the 80s animation.
You see how the wires cross? The bad ones pave the way for the good ones, and then the good ones pave the way for the bad ones because they kept trying to ride that train, and then they milked it dry. So it's like,
Die Hard.
It's like light and dark. Like you need the bad to make the good.
You know what?
And you need the good to make the bad.
Was still good.
The last one's gonna be them visiting Bruce Willis, and he's in a nursing home at like 85, and he like gets up and pulls out his IVs and shit, and he's like,
"All right, Sonny,
one last
time to go.
One last ride,
one last ride," and somehow manages to like get in the Lamborghini that pulls up in the front, and he's like, "All right."
Think of it like this: how many Predator movies have we had?
Professor Snape?
Isn't it like 4 now?
Are we going to consider the AVP movies too?
Rick Allen. Somehow Rick Allen comes back.
7 movies, I think.
The final one.
So, wait, in terms of movies, there was like what 2 AVPs, right?
2 AVPs. There's like 5.
Then there was the 2 Predators. Then there was the 2 OG Predators. Then there was the Predators.
Did you guys watch the kind of the remake of Predators, the last one?
That's not a remake. That's a direct sequel.
That's
a sequel.
That's a sequel. It was bad.
It was like
it's supposed to be a direct sequel to Predator 1 and 2.
Predators with fucking what's his name? Brody.
The newest one.
Adrian Brody.
Adrian Brody
was a recent
that was all right.
I never watched.
Predators phenomenal.
That was all right. I like that one.
Was it a direct sequel to 1 and 2?
It was a direct sequel to 1. They don't really mention 2. 2 is kind of like that redheaded stepchild. So Predators is weird, right? The 4 Predator movies that have been released.
Am I the only one that thought Danny Glover was just a very interesting choice?
No.
Yes.
No, I you know what? I love this character. I wanted him to say once in the movie is like, I'm too old for this shit. Like just once.
I just can't imagine that
I don't care if it's like
this.
No, he never said it. He never said in Predators.
I'm gonna get that. Pulls out a
back to Predators.
Shoots him in the head.
Oh God.
Movie lasted 15 minutes.
The movie lasted 15 minutes.
Out of the 6 appearances of Predator, 2 are critically loved, right? Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator and Predators, the 3rd movie, the one with Adrian Brody.
Yeah,
Predators. A lot of people love that movie. Yeah,
that's how I say it. It's Predators.
That's not the one where they all landed on the planet, is it?
Yeah, that's the one.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one that was.
Okay, because I actually liked that one. It was all right.
Yeah, that one was a good one.
The last Predator movie to come out.
The Predator.
The Predator.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen
it. I watched it. You don't want to watch it.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Asachi, did you watch it?
Hell no.
Do you want to know the concept of the Predator? The Predator race, the Yaju race, which is the Predator's race, right? They were trying to find humans that are exceptional weapons. Basically, humans with unique genes to make them super soldiers. You want to know what those unique genes were? Autism.
Asperger's. Oh, it was autism? I thought it was Asperger's.
Autism and Asperger's syndrome.
The other kid had Asperger's.
Does it have to do with like lack of emotional?
They don't explain.
Understanding.
No, the only way they explain it is the kid somehow sees a chessboard. These bullies knock the chessboard down. The kid memorized where each piece goes and what happens. And then this kid somehow discovers how predator technology works.
Yep. And that's it.
Huh.
That is it.
I mean,
Yep.
Interesting. That's an interesting.
I was gonna say that's an interesting concept if they probably handled it better, because people with those disabilities sometimes are known to
movie,
do.
though.
It was. Oh, you know what? The
do
way
amazing
they
things.
brought in like the fucking like their version of Men in Black.
Yeah.
The one that's always chewing gum. I forgot that actor's name and the character's name. But the way they killed him, he puts on a shoulder, like the shoulder shooter from Predators, and then he turns right and blows his own head off.
Yep.
Wow.
I'm like, how the fuck you can kill someone like that? God, it's funny as fuck, but that is the dumbest way to kill like an actually great actor. I'm like, oh
Wow.
no.
Yeah.
This is why I don't believe that we have aliens on the planet.
Masculine men doing that, and it's just bicep.
Dude,
Hold up. That's
enemy of the 80s right there.
That is 80s right there.
That
Just
is unbeatable.
glistening masculinity.
men.
Biceps the size of like a normal person's head. Just
That and Rocky.
there's baseball.
Rocky and Apollo Creed
about punching each
running
other.
on the beach. And then when they have that triumphant moment.
Man.
Yeah. The epitome of masculinity. All right. And the last piece is Fortnite suing Apple and Google. All I'm gonna say that is fuck Fortnite. All right. Anyway, yeah, that's the that's the episode, guys.
Oh well, but touchy. You gotta do it right. To all you Fortnite players that enjoy that game, all I have to say is, fuck your game. Thank you.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Anyway, we are gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for joining us. But before we get out, I do want to do a couple of shout outs. Let me get my shout out notes. My handy dandy notebook.
Blues could do, we can too.
But I do want to say thank you to all the Patreons who continue to support the show on Patreon. Big shout out to Golden Brown Toast, who hangs out in the Twitch live streams. Thank you so much for that. And I do want to say a shout out to Kara for being the amazing mod that she is and the support that she shows, even though she's yelling at me all the time. But that's fine. We still love her.
Shout out to all the ladies with thick thighs that save lives.
Yeah. I second that. But yeah, if you guys want to hang out, make sure you join our Discord.
Oh, did a
community.
Bullet get a shout out?
Oh yeah, that's right. Bullet. Yeah, Bullet. Bulletception.
You're about to forget Bullet?
I'm about to forget Bullet. Good old Bullet. Bullet Sponge.
Oh shit.
That's kind of Bullet's fault because, you know, he's been like incognito. Bullet got all boo-booed up and stuff, okay? Bullet got all boo-booed up. He forgot about us.
And stop doing the podcast.
Or abandoned us. But no, big shout out to you, Bullet. We love you, bro. We still love you. You know, you don't love us.
Even though
anyway,
forgot about you.
Yeah, I did. I'm not gonna lie. I did. But make sure you guys check out the YouTube channel for new videos coming out, and make sure you check out the Patreon. There's definitely a lot of exclusive stuff coming out. There's definitely a new way to listen to the podcast, so you guys don't have to wait for a sound file. You can actually take your exclusive RSS feed and listen to it on any platform that you want. So pretty much ease of access. And make sure you check out the merchandise shop as well, because we have new stuff in the shop. The GZ Chop Crossroad collection is officially out, along with the Midnight collection. So make sure you guys go grab those up. And if you're Patreon, you have a promo code for free shipping basically on every order. So make sure you go. It's really good stuff. And if you guys want to talk to us, you can hit us up on Twitter. I will be posting links pretty much everywhere. But we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And it is now officially season 4
Don't forget about Dragon Ball. It was amazing in the 80s.
Everybody stay safe out there, and we will catch all of you amazing people on the next episode. Later, everybody.